YouTube, what's going on? My name's Lex and welcome back to my channel, Sandals and Steel Toes. So it is that time of year when it is very exciting to start your seeds. I know for me personally that I have been really down this winter. I don't enjoy winter. I live in Northeast Ohio, zone 6A, so it gets really cold here. It gets really snowy. We just don't get a lot of sunlight. For all the bad parts of the winter that we experience in Ohio, there's tons of lovely, beautiful things that you can find joy in the summer and the fall and the spring. But with that, we do have about between a 160 and 180 day growing season. It kind of varies in between there just based on how the weather patterns that are this year. So I have a good amount of time to grow quite a bit of things. And I'm going to show you what's going on my seed starting rack. I've actually gotten a head start this year and started a lot of stuff in January even. That's going to be going out in the garden here very soon. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what's going on up here. So I'll start by showing the rack that I'm using. So this is a 6-shelf metal rack unit. I got it from Home Depot. It's 4-foot wide shelves that are about 1.5 feet deep. And then from the top to the bottom is 6 feet tall. So this is a really nice metal unit. Very sturdy. It can hold a lot of weight. I was using like just a plastic shelf before that was wobbly and just kind of unstable, so I upgraded to this. It was about $90 at Home Depot when I bought it, and I think this is a really good investment. It can hold a lot. I can put 4 of the 10 by 20 trays on each rack if they are facing like this. So I have a lot of space on here to grow. I can even put stuff up top. I've kind of got all this storage down here for right now, which will come out as soon as I start up potting things and need more space. But I can fit a lot on these racks. So next I want to talk to you about the light system that I'm using this year. So I found these, they're just called shop lights, LED shop lights. You know, something that you would use in your garage or in a workshop. These are just hanging lights. They're not special grow lights at all. They're not marketed for plants. They're just basic shop lights. These are an LED version. In the past, you may have seen something like this, but it's those very large cylindrical iridescent tubes that, like, if they drop and break, they just shatter into a million pieces. This is like the new design of that, the LED version, and they're super lightweight. Like, I was able to install all of these onto my shelving by myself with really no hassle. The older kind with the different kind of bulbs, they're a lot heavier. So you can find these lights in a lot of places, most of your big box stores, your Home Depots, your Lowe's, your Walmart. I purchased mine on Amazon just because I like Amazon and I like to be able to shop from the convenience of my house. So I got a 4-pack of these. These are 4 feet long each. And I went for the 4-foot ones because I have a 4-foot wide metal shelving unit, so it fits perfectly, you know, goes across. And I do 2 deep. So 1 here in the front and then 1 in the back, and that just gives a really nice coverage for all the plants that are growing in here. 4-pack I got, it was about $70 when I purchased it for all 4. If you break it out, divide that, it was about $17.50 a piece, which is pretty close to what you can find these for. Like, I've heard at Walmart they're around $15, $16. So do your research and, you know, find the best price for you. But these are really great. So a couple things to make note of if you're going for the shop lights. You're going to want to get at least 3,000 lumens or more. The 3,000s on the low end, you're going to want to kind of try and get up higher if you can find them. These ones I got are 4,500 lumens, and they're the 5,000 Kelvin daylight. So you want it to be the daylight bulbs because they kind of got like a lighter bluish hue to them. And all of these bulbs are really going to be good for is your seedlings, starting seedlings, helping the greens kind of bush out and get a really strong stalk to them. What these lights are not designed to do, they're not full spectrum. So they're not going to be able to flower any of these plants. So if I kept these in here long enough to a mature age where they're gonna start to flower, these lights are not gonna provide the right light spectrum for them to flower. For my purposes, that's okay because I'm not going to keep them inside that long. They'll be outside long before then. But if I did ever decide I want to keep plants or grow them more over the winter to where they can flower and bear fruit, then I'd have to go and get a different kind of grow light that's specially formulated for full spectrum. So keep that in mind. But for probably most average gardeners, you're just looking to start seeds inside. These lights are a good way to go. The fancier plant grow lights, they can range in prices. They can be up in the higher range. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more affordable, I would recommend this. So like I said, I've only gotten 4 of these so far this year because it was an investment, $70 just to get 4 of them. But I do have some other lights that I used last year that work good too. And actually, I'll just show you one. So I used these type of lights last year. I bought 4 of them, and these are even cheaper. These are more like in the $7 range. This is like they're also shop lights. They have these kind of clip on the side. Some people use them for like heat lamps for their chickens or animals. I bought, again, a daylight bulb, so it's really bright. I think this one's also 5,000 Kelvin, so it's a really bright light. This is what I used last year. If you go back in my videos, you can see my grow setup last year, and I grew a lot. I grew a lot of plants. I had just 4 of these, and I grew all the tomatoes for my garden inside along with some other stuff, and yeah, they grew. So this is another option, even cheaper. And once I start up potting all of these little things, I'm going to need more lights, and I will still continue to use these as well because I have them, and yeah, they work good too. So this is another option if you're kind of on a tight budget, which I was last year. It wasn't working. It was during the COVID pandemic start time, and I'm like, I want to grow plants, and this is what I could afford, and it worked. So the great thing about setting up a seed station like this is you don't have to do it all at once. You can go in stages. Last year, I didn't have these 10-20 trays. I just purchased these on Amazon as well, or just a month or so ago. Last year, I used just a foil roasting pan that I got at the dollar store. And that's what I kept all of my little seedling pots in. And that worked too. And, I spent $1 on them. So, you can be resourceful. Speaking of being resourceful, so I save things. I've been saving jelly jars, dip containers, yogurt containers, 2 liters. I've got a milk jug in here. So I've been saving things because I know that I'm going to be running out of materials to start my seeds in. Like I do have a lot of these, but these are not very big. These are just for when I start the seeds. They're not for up potting. So when I get to the up potting stage, I'll be using a lot of this stuff to up pot into, because I just don't have a whole lot of these nicer big trays. And I save all of this stuff. So anytime I buy any type of plants from the store, I always save the pots because I know I'm going to use them. So save what you can. Reuse, recycle. So another thing I want to show you that I use, which has been really helpful, is the Mylar roll. So if you can see, it's really shiny and reflective. It's a 6mm diamond film reflective Mylar. And I got a roll of it. It was a 4-foot by 10-foot roll. It was about $21 on Amazon. And I'll put links to all this stuff below. I'm not an Amazon affiliate. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I just like to share what I use because I think it's helpful for people to be able to find things. So I will share that with you in the description area below. But how I use this roll, so you can see on one side it's straight down, and I have a window here. So actually this helps block the light from the window, so you don't see it from the outside. But I have this all the way pulled down to where I'm growing stuff on the one side, and then up here, I keep it rolled for when I want it up. And this is hard to do one-handed. Okay. So when I want it down, I just unroll it and kind of tuck an edge on one of the lower shelves. Yeah, it's kind of sloppy right now, but okay. So I just kind of tuck it down on one of the lower shelves. This is a quick job. I usually make it a lot tighter. But now, so from this side, it's completely blocking all of that light from my eyes. So I can be working around in my house and not have to be glaring at these super bright lights every time I walk by. Also not super good for your eyes to have that bright light in your face all the time. So first of all, I really like that this kind of shields so much light from my eyes, from my kids' eyes. It's really good to do that. But then when we look inside, so the reflective material here bounces all the light back into my grow station. So now I'm not losing a bunch of extra light into the room. It's all getting reflected back in. So it's getting reflected back from the top and from the right side and from the left side. And it does that on each shelf. It's a 6 mil diamond, so if you look at it, if you can see that, it's like a diamond pattern, and it's thick. It's you know, Mylar is what they use for like balloons and other kind of packaging materials, but this is really thick. It's kind of like the consistency of a shower curtain. And my original idea was to kind of cut this and make a hanger situation with loops around it, kind of like shower curtain loops, to be able to open and close it easier. But I don't know, I didn't like the idea of cutting this, and so I just kind of draped it over top. And actually I really like how it works. I can adjust how big or short I want it to be, and I have plenty of room. Like I said, it's a 10-foot roll, and so my shelf is 6 feet high, so I can get 5 feet of it on either side when fully, you know, draped over the top. So this is something new to me using this. I would highly recommend doing the same. Again, just if you have your seeds growing in like a public area of your home, mine's in my dining room, it just is nice to block out all that extra light. Okay, so we'll talk about the fan. Like, why is this fan hanging here? I keep this fan on and I move it. I only have one fan right now, but I move it from shelf to shelf throughout the day just to get some airflow on my seedlings. So it's important when you're starting seeds that you have airflow on them to help control any fungus that might be growing in your soil, and also it mimics the wind. So with this fan going, it's helping my seedlings get stronger for when they go outside. They'll be able better to support themselves when they're against some gustier winds outside. So I just keep that fan on low and move it so each shelf gets it. So that is the seed starting area, and I have so many cool things growing. I have a lot of stuff I have to start still. I just encourage you, just do what you can. If you can't do it all, don't worry about it. Start small. It's good. It's good. So thank you everyone for watching this video. If you have any questions or if there's something that I didn't cover or wasn't clear on, please drop a comment. I will answer all of your comments. And then if there's any video that you want to see in the future, some topic that you're curious about, like I said, I am in Zone 6A, Northeast Ohio, along Lake Erie. So we're kind of in this like weird microclimate that doesn't really apply to all other areas of Ohio. you know, and there's something that you want to see specifically that might help you, or you have questions on, just shoot me a comment, send me a message. I'm on Instagram at Sandals and Steel Toes. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, obviously, so you can find me on social media. Just send me a comment, let me know what your questions are, what you'd like to see in the future, and I will work on those. Video creation, I get it out when I can, so please do something you love today. Even if you have 10 minutes, just set it aside, do something for yourself. You will feel better after you're done. So, yep, thank you guys. Have a great day. We'll talk soon. Bye. And this is the newest member of our family. This is Miss Isis, and she's a good girl. And she's 5.5. Sit. Good girl. She is an old family Irish red-nosed pit bull, and she is 5.5 months old, and she is super smart and super energetic and loving and cuddly, and she is enjoying a bone right now. And she's been training with American Canine Dynamics, who's local to me here. And she is just a really good dog, and we love her so much. So I wanted to show everyone little Isis. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Very good. So Mr. Manu, my old boy who's 12, he's been having some health problems, but he's doing good, adjusting to having a puppy here. And he's still with us. So he's my good boy. Good old boy, huh? Yes, you are.